everybody, and welcome one more time to this space dedicated to personal growth as well as beautiful places from all over the world. I'm Nadia Flores, and today we are back in Mexico City. Today we're going to be visiting one of the most important neighborhoods for the culture in this particular area. So stay with us, it's going to be amazing. This is Grow and Travel. Mexico City is one of the most important geopolitical, social, and economical cities in the world. With over 25 million inhabitants, Mexico City has a lot of culture from people that comes from all over the place. Today we're going to visit Coyoacan, one of the most important neighborhoods in this beautiful place. But before that, let's go to a coaching message. And here we are at our first coaching message of this episode of Grow and Travel, and today I'm going to talk about a very important subject, something that I consider of utmost importance because it's been coming up for me and for a lot of my friends that you feel like you are behind in life. You have this feeling that you should be doing something else, that you should be earning X amount of money more than what you're earning. If you're single, you want to be married. If you're married, maybe you feel like you don't know if you chose the right person. Maybe you want to get divorced, and that's okay. Everybody goes through those feelings, every single person. Everybody goes through this kind of like questioning yourself and questioning to see if what you're doing is quote unquote right. But in the end, let me remind you that nothing is right and nothing is wrong. And lastly, you are exactly where you need to be. There is no need for comparison, but it's so easy, especially when there's so much social pressure. Maybe your aunt comes and asks you, okay, so when I was your age, I was already this, and I was already that, and I already had this, and I already had that. And your mom, your dad come and tell you the same. What are you doing with your life? Look at how you're living it. When are you gonna get like quote unquote a real job? Or when are you quote unquote gonna grow in the company that you're working for? Or all these questions that make you feel like you're not making the right choice with your life. It's so important to trust yourself. It's so important to go back to your heart and what you truly desire and understand that your desires are there for a reason. And there's a reason why you've been living your life the way you have been living it. Also, remember that everybody is in their very own journey. So you're not behind, you're not ahead, you're exactly where you need to be. Your journey is your journey, and you're here and you have a purpose. So remember that. In the second block, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how you can live a more free and more fulfilling life, and you can stop comparing your life and your results with other ones. And we made it! We are finally in Coyoacan, one of the richest neighborhoods in Mexico City. And when I talk about riches, I don't mean only money-wise, but also cultural-wise. Because this is the place where Frida Kahlo, the famous painter, was born. And it also has lots of museums and parks that you can visit whenever you come. So let's go check it out, shall we? Come with me.
Coyoacan is one of the best-known neighborhoods in Mexico City. The name of Coyoacan means, in the Nahuatl indigenous language, place of coyotes or place that coyotes possess. And that is why we see representations of these animals in the fountains of some of its parks. After the fall of Mexico Tenochtitlan, Hernán Cortés built his house in Coyoacan, the first seat of government in Mexico, also known back then as New Spain, in 1521. Several centuries later, after the independence of Mexico and the Battle of Churubusco against the United States in the 19th century, Coyoacan became a neighborhood of wealthy social classes at the beginning of the 20th century during the time of President Porfirio Diaz, better known as El Porfiriato. At the time, numerous residence villas were built in the streets surrounding the parish of San Juan Bautista. Numerous artists and intellectuals such as Frida Kahlo, the painter José Chávez Morado, the muralist David Alfaro Siqueiros, or Leon Trotsky, among many others, established their residence in Coyoacan. The space of the Hidalgo and Centenary Gardens was conditioned in the 1980s, and here we find the Coyotes Fountain, a work of art by Gabriel Panzanelli. Now, let's move on to the following touristic places. Let us start with Plaza Hidalgo. The beautiful garden plaza of Hidalgo is undoubtedly the heart of Coyoacan. During the 30s, 40s, and 50s, the Centenary Cinema presided over the afternoons and evenings of cultural activity. Here, the old house of Hernán Cortés, converted into the old Coyoacan Town Hall Palace, the Handcrafts Market, and the parish of San Juan Bautista converged to make of this spot one of the most visited places in Mexico City. If you want to take a tour around Coyoacan, you can take the colorful Coyoacan tram from here. Across the street from Plaza Hidalgo, we find the Parque del Centenario, a classic place for photography next to the Coyote Fountain, where a good handful of restaurants, mezcalerias, and bars are concentrated to enjoy beer, tequila, mezcal, or the spirit of your choice, really. The Centenary Garden is often known as the center of Coyoacan, since it could be considered the mile zero of this neighborhood. We now get to move on to the Temple of San Juan Bautista, located next to Plaza Hidalgo, which was an old church site used as an orchard by the monks. Stands the most important temple in Coyoacan, the parish of San Juan Bautista. Built by the Franciscans between 1522 and 1552, it was Hernan Cortes who donated the land to the church, an element of social, religious, and economic conquest of the new viceroyalty. This former monastery is a frequent venue for events and weddings. Coyoacan is a magical place, full of history and culture, and in addition to the sites mentioned, in its surroundings we will find endless cafes, bars, restaurants, and cultural and tourist activities that cannot be missed. I'll leave you with these beautiful images, and now we go to our second message of personal growth.
And welcome to our second coaching message. So right now I'm going to give you 3 tips so that you can live a more free, fulfilling, and plentiful life, because that is very important. That's exactly what we're here to do. And we were talking in our first segment about how we have this tendency of thinking that we are behind in life or we're ahead of other people in life, when the truth is that none of this is real. In the end, my tip number 1 for you is stop comparing yourself with others. Stop comparing yourself with people on Instagram or with people in your family, with your aunt, your uncle, your cousins. Oh, they're ahead of me or they're behind me or whatever. Because no, you are not here to compare yourself with anyone. You're here to live your life. That takes me to tip number 2. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Every single decision that you have made in your life has taken you to live the life that you're living right now. And for that, you have one option. Be grateful, because every single decision has put you in this place with experiences that you have, with the wisdom that you now have, that you may or may not be able to see, because sometimes we have this tendency to keep judging ourselves. It's like, no, I didn't like this experience because such and such happened and whatever. Don't judge yourself. Trust yourself. Everything is happening for you, not to you, but for you. And that takes me finally to our last tip of the day, which is accepting and understanding that the universe, God, or whatever it is that you believe in, has a perfect order. Everything has a perfect order. Everything is exactly as it is meant to be. And I know this can be a little bit harsh to listen for some people, especially those going through physical pain in their bodies or illnesses or whatnot. But believe me, all of this is happening for you, for your advantage. This is going to help you grow and learn something from yourself, whether it's resilience, whether it's to learn to love yourself deeper, whether it's, I don't know, everyone has their very own reasons and their very own lessons that they get to learn from. So everything is exactly as it is meant to be. So my suggestion to you is to learn from all your lessons and move forward. Move forward with all of that you're learning, with all of that you are, with all of that you are deciding to embody. And those are my 3 tips for you. In the end, I also want to remind you that if you are looking to live a more free, fulfilling, and happy life, contact me, because I would love to hear from you. And if we are the right match and we can click, I would love to work with you so that you can get to wherever it is that you want to get. Find the passions in your heart, the talents that you have, explore them, make a plan, execute it, and live a more happy, more free, and more fulfilling life. And we've come to the end of the show. We hope that you have enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed creating it for you. And as every Wednesday, we're going to have a new chapter every week so that you can tune in and learn something new and check out another beautiful place. Other than that, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, and also feel free to share this video with your friends, your family, and anybody that you feel you can be of service for them. Other than that, this was Grow and Travel. I'm Nadia Flores. We'll see you on the next one.